America and Israel must stand together.
Speaking to a joint meeting of Congress, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Wednesday urged the United States to keep standing with Israel as it works to secure the release of hostages held by Hamas and defend against attacks by other Iranian proxies.
I think there was a lot in there for the White House to like. There was obviously not just the direct praise of President Biden, but again, this commitment to getting a deal done for the hostages, for a ceasefire, not for closing on a pathway to a ceasefire both in Gaza and on the northern front in Israel. The opening to somehow getting to a normalization deal with Saudi Arabia.
Netanyahu said Israel must retain overriding security control of Gaza for the foreseeable future to ensure it never again poses a terror threat. The Biden administration opposes a long-term Israeli troop presence in Gaza, seeing that as inconsistent with its goal of helping Palestinians to achieve independence as part of a two-state solution to their conflict with Israel.
Unfortunately, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu continues to demonstrate, as he did yesterday, that he is not on board with that vision. And so this will be a continued challenge for President Biden. But I didn't hear anything in the speech yesterday that that said to me that Netanyahu is bringing something new that might change Biden's trajectory.
By deciding not to seek re-election, the U.S. president has only half a year to use his powers to try to influence Israel's path.
When we look at the delivery of weapons to Israel, that, of course, he continues to control the spigots there of whether or not weapons come to Israel and how fast they come to Israel. So there's a lot of levers here, politically, militarily, diplomatically, strategically, economically, that the president still has at his disposal for 6 months.
Thousands of anti-Israel activists gathered in Washington on Wednesday to demand an end to U.S. aid for Israel, accusing it of committing war crimes against Palestinians. It is a sentiment shared by some Democratic lawmakers. Dozens of others gave Netanyahu's speech lukewarm applause or boycotted it in a sign of sharpening divisions among Democrats on Israel.
There are some pretty serious concerns about how Israel has used U.S. taxpayer-funded weapons in its war in Gaza. Again, that's not going to jeopardize support for Israel's defense, but I do think it's made many lawmakers, particularly Democratic lawmakers, think twice about how quickly and how much continued additional support they might provide.
Netanyahu got a more enthusiastic response from Republicans for his call to give Israel the tools to finish the job faster against Hamas. It is not clear whether he will get them by the end of Biden's term. Michael Lippin, VOA News, Washington.